So get in the kitchen with me and make this Zuppa Toscana soup. Is that how you see it? Anyway, but here are your ingredients. And yes, I had red potatoes. Now I got my onions, my bell peppers, my sausage, all the things. So of course I cut up my red potatoes. Now listen, okay, you can use whatever kind of potatoes you want to use, girl. It's your soup, okay. If you want to use them golden potatoes, you bougie, you know what I'm saying, you want to use them potatoes, then go ahead. If you want to use regular Idaho potatoes, that's your business, and can't nobody really tell you what to put in your soup. Also, can't nobody really tell you how to cut up your potatoes. All right, but get your bacon in a Dutch oven, okay. Make sure you kind of spread it out a little bit. Now it's gonna cook, it's gonna cook dying, okay. And listen, you need that bacon for some good seasoning, okay? And let all of that good fat soak down in the bottom. Anyway, so go ahead and stir it up a little bit. And I do prefer to use a wooden spatula or a wooden object when I'm cooking. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you can also get the stuff at the bottom, up when you use it. Okay, but anyway, you're gonna let that bacon cook, and then you're gonna go ahead and drain it. Okay, so what I did was I grabbed a bowl and I put a paper towel on it and drained that grease. I'm about to leave this grease down at the bottom of this pot of this Dutch oven because I need it. Okay, I got to cook my sausage. Okay, yes, I got to cook my sausage. So make sure you put that sausage down on there and leave it down there so it can get a good crust. Okay, leave it down there so it can get a good crust. Now don't worry about the bottom of this Dutch oven looking like it's burnt, because it ain't burnt. Okay, because let me tell you, once we add our well, it ain't really holy trinity, we ain't got no stuff, but once we add our peppers and onions in there, it's gonna loosen all that stuff up. But anyway, you let it get a good crust on there, and then that's when you begin to break it down. Okay, so you see how they look real good, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna drain this meat as well, all right, because all this grease about to get sopped up with with some bell peppers and onions and some garlic. So we ain't even studying it. Okay, so make sure you drain that meat off like so, like that. Now listen, you do what you want to do. You add whatever vegetables you want to add. Okay, I believe that onions and bell peppers really do give food a great flavor. And so you see me using a mix of red and green bell pepper along with my onion. Now you see how the moisture from these vegetables breaks down that good seasoning down at the bottom of this pot. You see that breaks down. Now listen, you do not have to do this, but I do add a little flour to mine to give it a little bit more of a creamy thickness once we add our heavy whipping cream, of course. But I use that, and then we're gonna let that flour cook. You let that. Your grandmama and them told you to let that flour cook down. Okay, so you allow that to cook down, and then I go ahead and add my garlic in as well. Okay, and of course I'm gonna stir it around a little bit more and allow that to go ahead and mix. Now, this is again, adding that flour is totally optional for you. Right, so then I'm going to go ahead and add these potatoes off up in here, and I did cut up quite a few of the potatoes, and yes girl, I did wash the potatoes. You ain't got to do all that. Okay, so I then went ahead and added my beef broth. I made that broth with some better than bouillon, is how I made that, and then I did add half a cup of water as well, because I am going to of course add some seasonings. Alright, so I had my kale cut up, I washed it, and then I went ahead and added it here. As you can see, I did use quite a bit of kale. Listen, you cut up your kale how you want to cut up your kale. Kale is going to absolutely cook down. But anyway, then I started adding my seasoning. So that is complete seasoning that I'm using. Of course, we're using a little Tony Satchery spoon here. That's our business. Don't worry about it. We definitely going to use some garlic powder. And if you have some onion powder, it's by choice if you want to use it as well. I don't believe I recorded that, but then I also use some accent. I think you should have some accent in your seasoning. And I use some black pepper, of course. All right. We love black pepper around here. Anyway, so we're going to add this sausage back up in here. Okay, and then we're going to also add this bacon off up in here. All right, and we're gonna stir that around, and we're gonna let that simmer up a little bit, like so. Now, listen, I recommend that you add your stuff back in halfway through your potatoes cooking. Okay, you can do this many different ways. This is my business, this is just how I chose to do it. I did add about a cup and maybe a fourth of heavy whipping cream here. I love my soup creamy. It is totally up to you, but make this and let me know what it's like. Okay, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.